station of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
You know, there's always going to be something unique and special about my relationship with that organization, at least to me. You know, at 58 years old, you know, over a quarter of my life was spent playing for that franchise. So, yeah, man, the memories are fantastic.
Two men to do that will manage against his former team for the first time. Molitor, one of the all-time great Brewers, now takes the first-place Twins onto Target Field as they welcome the Brewers to Minneapolis. Milwaukee brings with them the worst record in baseball at 18-36. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Target Field on a perfect night for baseball in downtown Minneapolis. The Twins returning home to open a homestand after gaining a split in a 4-game series at Fenway. And a couple of things to watch this weekend here in downtown Minneapolis. The Twins trying to continue their role in series. 9 series wins, 2 losses and 1 split in their last 12. They've been finding a way to come out on top in each 3-game set. They've been dominant at home. Their .731 win percentage is second best in baseball and right now on a pace that would give them their best home record in franchise history. But tonight they open a series against a Brewers club that is really struggling. Milwaukee 18-36, a slow start this year. Now they're in the midst of a second losing skid during which they've lost 11 of 14. That's the matchup here tonight. And it's Kyle Gibson to the mound for Minnesota. He's been one of baseball's best since the calendar turned to May. Dick Kramer and Bert Blyleven break it down in a moment.
Is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Dodge. Come discover great deals during the Dodge Drive and Discover event. And by Budweiser. Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. This 6-game homestand gets started with magnificent weather on a Friday night, and the first of 3 between the Brewers and the Twins. Kyle Lohse used to pitch for the Twins, used to be a very effective starting pitcher for them a long time ago. He'll make the start for the Brewers tonight in the series opener. Kyle Gibson, one of the hottest pitchers in the American League, will make the start for the Minnesota Twins. And what a great way to get this homestand started. A magnificent night. Dick Bramer, Burt Blyleven with you for the series opener. The last time the Twins were here at Target Field, they were wrapping up one of the best months in franchise history. Nobody enjoyed the month of May more than tonight's starter, Kyle Gibson.
Well, for Kyle Gibson, 6 starts in the month of May, and what a great month this was. Ended up winning 3 of the 6 ball games, only losing 1. The earned run average 1.36. Only 33 hits allowed in 39 and 2/3 innings. Great opposing batting average against him. So Kyle Gibson hopefully will take May into June.
Kyle Lohse has beaten everybody in Major League Baseball except the Minnesota Twins. We'll see what happens in a battle of Kyles in the series opener. Got him. Swing and a miss. It's good to be Kyle Gibson today. Really good to be Kyle Gibson in the month of May, and now tonight he'll make his first June start as the Twins hope to keep their roll going. It's extended beyond the home schedule. They're playing pretty well on the road now too. And the Brewers haven't done much of anything well. They have executed, or were the first team to execute, a managerial change. Ron Renneke dismissed Craig Counsell, who some thought was groomed to be the new general manager. Instead, has signed on for 3 years to be the manager of the Brewers. Gene Segura, the Menards leadoff man. Gerardo Parra, Carlos Gomez, Adam Lind, Jonathan Lucroy, Aramis Ramirez, Shane Peterson, Jason Rogers, and the former Tiger Hernan Perez.
And let's take a look at Kyle Gibson. We talked about him in the open. What a great month of May he had when he was 3-1. Very, very good earned run average. And all three wins came here at Target Field. where in 5 starts so far this season here at Target Field, he is 3-1 with a 1.44 earned run average.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Eddie Rosario out in left field. Aaron Hicks in center. Torrey Hunter in right. Loop and Escobar left side of the infield. Dozier Mauer right side. Suzuki behind the plate. Ron Culpa with plate duty. Toby Pasner, Brian Knight, Vic Carapasa round out the crew.
We have seen Kyle Gibson when he is on. He'll get a lot of ground ball outs. Leads all in majors in 13 double plays. Hopefully he won't need too many of those tonight. Keep the runners off the bases.
Outside ball 1. He will be working with an extra day of rest. Gibson's turn on the rotation actually came up yesterday. There's a strike on the outside corner. The Twins inserted Tommy Malone to make the start and push Gibson back a day.
Well, Tim Laudner in the pregame did a good analysis of what's keeping Gibson or making Gibson so good.
Third pitch of the game is hammered out by Segura. His 3rd home run of the year. And Gibson, who does not give up many home runs, just his 6th of the year, gives one up right away here tonight.
And I was going to say, you know, he creates that good angle, and that's not a bad pitch right there. Credit Segura on going down and getting that 2-seamer and giving the Brewers an early 1-0 lead. Not a bad pitch. You can see down, but Segura opens up quickly and hits his 3rd home run of the year, driving in now 15 runs.
And now Parra will bat. Brewers last in the major leagues in hitting. They're hitting .230 as a team. The National League is hitting .253. That's how far below the norm the Brewers are this year. Fouled to the backstop. 0-2.
Gibson making his 2nd career start against the Brewers. He faced them in Milwaukee last year. He lost to tomorrow's starter Matt Garza 6-2.
Up high, and it's 1-2.
The only thing with an extra day, and it's 6 days in between starts for Gibson, for a sinker baller, sometimes the first 2 or 3 innings, the ball does not sink as well as maybe you will as your arm starts to tire a little bit.
But again, no quarrel on the pitch that was hit out. That pitch was down and in. You could see by Suzuki's glove he was going to catch it just above the ground. 2-2.
I think sometimes the hardest thing as a pitcher is to credit the hitter that he hit a pretty good pitch.
Changeup and a strikeout, 1 down.
Gibson is not much of a strikeout pitcher, more of a contact type pitcher, but 31 strikeouts in 62 and a 3rd innings.
And tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And since May 1st, Gibson leading in earned run average. An outstanding 1.36 in the month when he was 3-1. And he entered the game here tonight 7th in the American League in earned run average. And among the 6 pitchers better than him, his teammate Mike Pelfrey, who's 5th in the American League in earned run average. 1-0 to Carlos Gomez. And a strike, 1-1.
And Gomez, of course, a former Twin. Came up with the Mets in 2007. Played with the Twins in 2008 and 9. 2-time All-Star, both with the Brewers.
Fouled over the Twins dugout, 1-2.
He brings a lot of energy, and we saw that when he wore a Twins uniform. He spent some time on a disabled list, a right hamstring injury, and he missed, about a little over 2 weeks. And a lot of people feel you take that energy out of that lineup, and don't know if that's just a reason, but they missed his excitement and energy in that lineup.
I think you can look at Gomez's career, and of course Twins fans are going, well, why isn't he still with the Twins? And look what happened after he left Minnesota and all that. It took about 1,500 at bats for Carlos Gomez to start to figure things out. Now those 1,500 at bats were spread over 6 different major league seasons. Gomez strikes out, 2 down.
Good movement on that pitch. Gibson picking up the 2nd strikeout.
It's been a tumultuous year already for the Brewers. Ron Renicky fired. year ago, the Brewers looked like they were well on their way to a division championship. Craig Counsell replacing him from the front office. And Matt Garza, Kyle Osh, two of the veterans hoping to lead this pitching staff, instead have struggled.
Yeah, they really have. Look at combined 6-13 combined with that ERA right around 6.
2 down, bases empty. Adam Lind takes outside, ball 1. And that's just the beginning of the story of the 2015 Brewers. I mean, they've had some injuries. They've had all sorts of issues. It's just been a mess. The bullpen pitching okay, but the starters have struggled.
Well, I think too their farm system just have not produced a lot of good players as of late. Most of the players in a lineup, of the regular players, there's 13 of them. There's only 2 that came out of their system. Adam Lind right here came out of the Toronto Blue Jay organization in his first year with the Brewers.
3-0. And a strike. Lynn got off to a good start the first 3 weeks and keeping his batting average at a very respectable level. Brewers started out 5-17. Swing and a miss, 3-2. And Twins fans don't need to be reminded about how unpleasant things can get when your farm system has a few bad years or a string of bad years. We saw it in play here the last 4 years. Tapped up the right side, and Mauer will go to the bag. That ends the inning that started with a leadoff home run. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. Twins went on to the Cardinals, now pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers. Signed very late in spring training a couple of years ago. And Paul Molitor, of course, got most of his Hall of Fame total of hits with the Milwaukee Brewers. Menard's batting order for the Twins: Brian Dozier, Torrey Hunter, Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Eduardo Nunez, Eddie Rosario, Kurt Suzuki, Eduardo Escobar, Aaron Hicks.
And Kyle Osh making his 12th start of the year, his second career start against the Twins. A couple of years ago, he faced the Twins here. He lost 8-6 to P.J. Walters, where he gave up 4 home runs in that ballgame. But Loesch, of course, a former Twin, coming over from the Cubs in Rick Aguilera trade.
Outside 1-1, and as we said, Loesch has beaten every major league team except the Minnesota Twins. Trying to be the 13th pitcher to beat everybody in the bigs. Among them, Kevin Brown, A.J. Burnett, Randy Johnson, Al Leiter, Derek Lowe, Jamie Moyer, Terry Mulholland, Vicente Padilla, Kurt Schilling, Javier Vasquez, Woody Williams, and Barry Zito. 2-1 to Dozier. And no Speed pitch gets a swing and a miss.
Good changeup. Kyle has all 4 pitches: a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Won 51 ball games in a Twins uniform in 152 starts.
Tap foul. And I think it's fair to look at Loesch, look at Garza, pretty much any veteran that the Brewers have, given how their season has gone, and look at them as a trade candidate for a contending team in the coming weeks. Dozier fights one off, still 2-2.
Well, you know, when the Twins traded Loesch over to the Cincinnati Reds, that was July 31st in 2006. About a week later, Matt Garza got called up from the minor leagues. He was their #1 pick by the Twins. So they kind of have that little bond right there that, hey, you got traded, I got the opportunity to come up to the big leagues.
Dozier lifts it down the left field line. Shane Peterson waits, makes the catch one away. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Northland Ford defense for the Milwaukee Brewers, and they haven't done that well this year in the field. Shane Peterson, Carlos Gomez, Gerardo Parra in the outfield. Aramis Ramirez, this is his last year. He's at third base. Segura Perez up the middle. And Rogers at first. Jonathan Lucroy, their all-star catcher behind the plate.
Yeah, the Brewers have made 45 errors, matching the Cubs as far as most errors in a National League.
Here's Torrey Hunter. Ignited a Twins comeback yesterday, a 3-run home run that brought the Twins with one swing right back into the game. Ended up winning 8-4 to split the 4-game series in Boston. Lifted down the right field line. It should reach the seats. And I want to thank Anthony LaPanta for filling in for me yesterday. The Twins with a nice win to get out of Boston with a split in the 4-game series. Twins played ugly baseball in the first couple innings, and the Red Sox played ugly baseball in the last couple of innings.
They had more ugly innings than the Twins did.
1-1 to Hunter. Hit hard to center. Gomez drifting back and makes the catch with a leap at the end. That ball nearly burned the Gold Glove winning center fielder.
Yeah, it went a little bit further, and I think maybe he anticipated, but he does go back, and he can cover that center field no matter what ballpark he's in. See, the sun may be a little factor, but a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Good concentration. The ball right into the center of his glove.
2 down. Joe Mauer, the batter. Mauer's batting average with a slow leak over the last few weeks, down to 263, and strike one call.
Yeah, Joe got the bunt sign in yesterday's 8th inning. Was totally surprised, but it wasn't the best bunt, he said, but it got the job done.
Well, Molitor asked about that again today, and he said, you know, the presence of Glenn Perkins, who's been perfect in the closer's role, influenced the decision to bunt Mauer. Understanding that, you know, when you give up an out, you give up maybe a chance at a big inning, but in that situation, the manager felt the way Perkins is going, 1 run is as good as 3.
And I'm going to be honest, Joe has not been swinging a good bat, you know, and he's hit into 10 double plays, the most by any Twin. So, yeah, advance the runners.
Foul back, still 1-2. It traveled all of about 18 inches.
Now watch Blake Swihart, the catcher, right here. He comes running out. Makes a good throw to Sandoval, but that ball went right through the wickets more or less, allowed Dozier to score the go-ahead run. That was a good throw.
1-2 to Mauer. In the dirt, 2-2. You know, I watched that game yesterday from home, and Paul Molitor had the same thought. That game last night was very similar to the first playoff game the Twins played in Oakland in 2002, where the first few innings just looked like the team played embarrassingly bad. There's a pitch very close, low. And in that game, I still remember the shot. Ray Durham, the Oakland second baseman, laughing at the fun the A's were having at the Twins' expense. But that was in just like the 3rd or 4th inning, and the Twins came back and won that game in the playoff round in 0-2 as well. Full count to Mauer, and fouled away. And I guess, maybe it speaks to where this team is at. You play very poorly, give the other team some runs, you're down 4-0, but you come back and find a way to win at the end. Not the first time that's happened this year.
And it won't be the last.
Full count again to Mauer, and he takes a called third strike, and Loesch has a 1-2-3 first inning.
Hall of Famer. Don't want to let him down.
The most knowledgeable guy I've ever been around in my life about the game of baseball.
Great feel for the game. He's as prepared and as calculating as anyone I've ever been around.
He wants to win. He wants to win now.
Whenever you play for a guy like that who has 3,000 hits, you better sit down and talk to him.
So true.
Paul, of course, inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame wearing a Brewer cap, as should have been the case. Here's Jonathan Lucroy leading off the second.
Back in 2004.
Strike one. It'll be Lucroy, Ramirez, and Peterson in the second inning.
Well, Lucroy just kind of coming back off the disabled list just 5 days ago. He broke a big toe, his left big toe, taking a foul ball back in late April. Put on a disabled list.
Inside 1-1.
Lucroy had a all-star year last year when he hit .301 for the Brewers in 153 games.
Hard and deep to center. Going back is Hicks. And that ball is gone into the bullpen. Another leadoff solo home run for the Brewers. Lucroy's first of the year.
Even that ball looked like it was down in the strike zone. First time Gibson has allowed 2 home runs in a game this season. Lucroy, who hit 13 home runs last year, taking this ball straight away center, deepest part of the field, into the bullpen of the Brewers.
On the ground, and kicked by Escobar, comes up firing. Not in time. It'll be an error on the Twins shortstop.
Escobar made an error in yesterday's ball game. Twins commit an error here, their 34th of the year. For Escobar, his 4th. Ramirez hit it sharply, but Escobar kind of bobbled it right there. Still thought about getting Ramirez, but a little bit too late. Ball kind of rolled up his glove, got behind him.
Escobar out here early, taking some extra ground balls. Down and in, ball 1. Second start in a row where Danny Santana's started the game on the bench. In a bit of a pickle at short right now because Santana, although he's tightened up his game defensively, is really struggling at the plate with an on-base percentage of .239.
Well, Shane Peterson getting an opportunity to start in left field because of Ryan Braun not able to play. Peterson just getting called up from AAA just a couple days ago.
Might see Braun as a designated hitter tomorrow or Sunday. He had a freezing injection into the nerve of his plaguing thumb, injured thumb, something he had done in October, and the positive effect of that injection in October was wearing down or wearing off. So he had another one done a few days ago. Cryotherapy, which is, you know, for me, anytime you get injected, you're going to cry, so that makes sense. He's day to day, and that day may be tomorrow. Had a great month of May and then tailed off towards the end. 2-1. Dribbled foul. And we were talking about treatment for injuries, and of course Paul Molitor was injured a lot in his career, and the source of the question was discussing Ricky Nolasco, who we've been told since is going to have a cortisone shot into his inflamed area in his foot. And Paul estimated that in his career he had over 100 cortisone shots. That's a lot. Yeah. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Gibson picking up his third strikeout. I think the older you get, you know, you want to be out on that field, and you end up taking shots in certain areas that bother you.
And Paul went through the list, you know, the elbow, the shoulders, the knees, the ankles, everything, you know. And of course, it's like so many medicines, the more often you're treated, the less effective the medicine itself is. Here's Jason Rogers, the first baseman. Outside, ball one.
Rogers, 27 years old, one of the guys that I mentioned that signed with the Brewers. Ryan Braun, one of them. Rogers has power. A lot of home runs in the minor leagues. Started in the minor leagues this year. Got called up in the middle of April.
Chopped up the line, foul. You know, you talk about the farm system, and then you look at what Kansas City has. You know, Lorenzo Cain, Alcides Escobar were both parts of the Brewers organization. Were traded for Zach Greinke, Michael Brantley, part of the trade that got them CC Sabathia. So the Brewers, as lean as their lineup might be now, they kind of rolled the dice a few years ago and traded some of their better prospects to take a run for the postseason. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Gibson in interleague play, making his sixth start. In 5 previous starts, he's 1-4 with a high ERA at 6.04. He has struggled a little bit in interleague play.
1-2 to Rogers. 2-2. The Twins as a team have an earned run average of 3.81, and it is 8th, smack dab in the middle of the American League. The last time the Twins had a team ERA 3.81 or lower, it was back in 05. Just missed the inside corner. The appeal at first base for the check swing, but where was the pitch?
It looked like a pretty good pitch right there.
3-2. We'll see if the Brewers send the veteran Ramirez. Gibson has struck out 3 already in this game. 33 on the season. Ramirez stays put. The pitch chopped foul. Twins had an ERA for the season of 3.71 in 05. Santana anchoring the rotation. Definite signs of improvement, but an early lead here for the Brewers on a couple of home run balls. Tapper to short.
There we go. Turn it.
Escobar gets 1 and 2. Wasn't very smoothly turned, but they turned it. Another leadoff home run for Milwaukee. Jonathan Lucroy's first of the year, and it's 2-0.
So the Twins off a nice comeback win yesterday, and guys, they played great in this building. Last couple of seasons, not the case. This year, 19-7 at Target Field, and talking to some of the players in the clubhouse, they feel good coming home. They feel good about where their team is at right now, and they want to defend their home turf. They know if they're going to be in playoff consideration deep into this season, they've got to have a solid record at home, something they haven't done the last couple of years, but they have it now. You can feel the swagger when you walk in that clubhouse. Comebacks like yesterday only galvanize that swagger, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
2-0 now to Trevor Plouffe. Twins managed to split the 4 games in Boston, even though there are a bunch of guys in the lineup on a daily basis who are scuffling a little bit. And Plouffe takes a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Middle of the Twins lineup, Plouffe, Nunez, and Rosario. And on the outside corner again, 2-2. Twins 5th in the American League in runs scored, hitting at .252. The American League average is .251. Driven to right, deep to the corner. Parra makes the catch, 1-1. And that'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. The Twins have done very well here at home. Second to the Cardinals in winning percentage because the Cardinals have played and won 3 more games at home. Look at the last 4 years and basically losing 3 out of every 5 games that you're playing at home. Quite a turnaround. Eduardo Nunez, the batter. Over for a strike.
You know, when the Twins got Kyle Loesch back in 2001, they thought they really got something. In his first full year for the Twins, a 13-game winner, then a 14-game winner the following year. Then, you know, he didn't get the run support. The earned run average went up. The Twins ended up trading Loesch to Cincinnati. He was faltering a little bit. You know, he just kind of was not pitching well. Oh, he went to the St. Louis Cardinals and ran into Dave Duncan. And boy, did he have a couple great years for the Cardinals. His first season, 15-6 for the Cardinals. Picks up a strikeout here, his second. And then the best year came in 2012 when he was 16-3 in 33 starts and was 7th in voting for the Cy Young Award. He has struggled over his last 2 road trips. Excuse me, he's pitched well on the road the last 2 home starts. He's got an ERA over 12.
2 down. Here's Eddie Rosario. And a strike on the outside corner. I don't want to date Kyle Loesch. He was a good pitcher for the Twins recently as 9 years ago. He was still pitching for them. But he became a Twin. This is kind of puts it in perspective, I think. He became a Twin from the Chicago Cubs for Rick Aguilera. Well, that was a long time ago.
And lefty Scott Downs.
Yep. One hopper, and if anything, the second inning was easier for Loesch than the first. It's 2-0. Loesch Kyle Gibson giving up a couple of early runs on home runs. $10,000 links and many other waterways to suit your boating and recreational needs. Visit exploreminnesota.com. Discover a world that's only in Minnesota. Share and tag your Minnesota experiences with hashtag #OnlyInMN. 2-0 Milwaukee. We go to the third. Brewers averaging about a home run hit per game played, and they have 2 early ones against Kyle Gibson. Hernan Perez will lead off the third, and he takes ball 1.
Yeah, Perez just claimed off waivers just a couple days ago from the Detroit Tigers by the Brewers, playing in his 2nd game.
Might get a chance to play with the Brewers because he wasn't getting much of a chance in Detroit. The Tigers are really scuffling. They're playing as poorly now as the Twins did the first week of the season. Tigers have lost 7 straight. They're trailing early in Chicago against the White Sox. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good change up there. Yeah, Perez, part-time type player. He did work in 22 ball games. A lot of times it's defense, but just 2 hits in 33 at-bats for the Tigers.
On the ground, Plouffe sets and delivers on target, 1 away.
Confidence is a big thing. I think, Dick, one thing, okay, Gibson's given up a couple solo home runs. He's got to keep the game where it's at. Kind of what Tommy Malone tried to do yesterday, but the double play ball. He has so much confidence he can get ground balls. That was a 14th double play that ended the 2nd inning.
We've got fireworks tonight, and again on June 19th, the Twins taking on the Cubs. Fireworks presented by Gillette Children's Specialty Healthcare, and the first 10,000 fans will get a Paul Molitor bobblehead courtesy of select Heartland Chevy dealers. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets. Get your tickets, get a bobblehead, stay for the fireworks. 0-2 now to Gene Segura. Segura clobbered a home run to left field. The third pitch thrown by Kyle Gibson.
A couple years ago, Segura, an all-star for the Brewers in 2013.
Tap to the right side. Dozier from Mauer. 2 down. And now Gibson getting outs on the ground. 2 of them here in the third, and now Parra will bat. Parra struck out swinging his first time up.
Parra in his second season with the Brewers. 6 years wore a Diamondbacks uniform.
In the middle of strike.
Two-time Gold Glove winner. 2-time All-Star with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
1-1.
Talking to their color analyst Bill Schroeder, former catcher of mine before the ball game. He likes this kid right here, Parra. He said he's a gamer.
Up and in.
Tried that 2-seamer that came back over the middle part of the plate. Didn't miss by much. Gibson with 3 strikeouts in a ball game.
And he shoots one through the hole on the left side. A 2-out single. And Parra's aboard. That'll get Gomez to the plate. Gomez has struck out his first time up. Back. Gomez with 47 home runs the last 2 years. Going back a year before that, added 19 more. Ron Renicky, the replaced manager, just had a heart-to-heart with Gomez. He said, look, be who you are, swing the way you want. If you want to be a power hitter, go for it. You're big, you're strong, let her rip. And he grounds a single through the hole on the left side. Couple of 2-out singles, and the Brewers aren't done yet here in the third inning. That'll bring up Adam Lynn.
I don't think that has ever been Gomez's problem as far as not letting it go. He's always been very aggressive, but I think they try to get him corralled into the strike zone rather than swinging wildly like he did for a long time. But you know, we've seen it from Plouffe and Dozier. You know, guys that have a lot more at bats, they learn what they can do and what they can't do.
First year with the Twins, he struck out 142 times and drew 25 walks. First and second, 2 down. It's already 2-0 Milwaukee. And here's Adam Lynn in a ground ball to Mauer, his first time up. Up and in. Gibson, as we told you before, really struggled in his last start. But he battled, kept the team in the game, and the team ended up picking up a win against the Blue Jays. But he was all over the place, gave up 8 hits, 4 walks over 5 1/3 innings. It was a swing and a miss.
He wasn't real happy with the slider, but what he does have is he has that 4-seam fastball, then the sinker, and then the changeup. 50 pitches already for Gibson. 33 strikes.
Deep to right. And this home run will hurt. A 3-run jolt. And all 3 hits in the third inning coming here after the second out.
Well, I'm telling you, that extra day's rest, sometimes you don't have your best stuff. And Gibson has not shown too many pitches right there. Now, Segura hit a pretty good pitch. LeCroy hit a pitch down, but this ball was right down the heart of the plate. Lynn with his 9th home run of the year. Makes it a 5-0 Brewers lead.
You see Suzuki wanted the pitch in, and it came over the plate high and ended lined up by the flagpoles. Here's Lucroy. All the Brewer home runs on home runs, and they have jumped on Kyle Gibson quickly here, 5-0.
Yeah, Lynn's always had power. He had it with the Blue Jays for 9 years, bringing it here with the Brewers. 9 home runs. It's 155 home runs he has.
And a strike on the outside corner. Inside, got a foul ball. 2 strikes. Great crowd on hand, and so far they've been treated to some Brewer muscle. Oh, and 2. And that's over Mauer's reach. The 4th straight hit here in the 3rd inning.
Gibson has not had a start like this since his opening day start against the Tigers in Detroit, where he gave up 6 runs in 3 2/3 innings.
In those 6 starts in May, he gave up a total of 3 home runs, and now 3 already here tonight.
Quick trip to the mound by the pitching coach Neil Allen.
Gibson so close to settling into a groove, and I think we said at the time getting some outs on the ground, but then Parra single, Gomez single, Lynn clobbered one out on the plaza. Lucroy with an opposite field line drive single.
This is what this game will do to you, Dick. I mean, a great month of May, 1.36 earned run average in 6 starts, and you come out, maybe your focus isn't as good, maybe your location's not as good. It'll bite you.
Changeup drifts over the inside corner. The elusive 3rd out. Pulled foul. And the Twins had I guess a similar start yesterday in Boston, fell behind 4-0, and a couple of home runs contributed to the Boston lead, and finally in the middle innings the Twins were able to jump back in the game, and that might be their best model to get back in this game. But it starts with a guy on the mound who can put up a few zeros to let the hitters do their thing. Spun foul up the line. Still 2 strikes.
The batter right now, Ramirez, 36 years old. He's made the announcement going into the season that this was going to be his last year. 18th season in the major leagues with the Pirates, the Cubs, in his 4th season with the Brewers.
He's put up very impressive numbers in his career. Swing and a miss, and there's the elusive 3rd out. 4 straight hits, including a 3-run home run, and the Brewer lead has grown to 5-0. Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. It's not the recommended business plan or business model, but the Twins will try to follow what they did yesterday with a similar business model here today. Give the other guys a bunch of runs early and come back and win it at the end. 1-0 to Kurt Suzuki.
Yeah, Suzuki, a good day at the plate yesterday with 3 hits in that win over the Red Sox. Also a walk.
Over for a strike, 1-1. Suzuki, Escobar, and Hicks here in the Twins' third. 6 up, 6 down so far for Loesch.
13-game winner last year for the Brewers in 31 starts. You know, he's a guy in his career that's always been really pretty consistent. This is his 406th major league start. Has 145 wins, 134 losses. He's pitched almost 2,500 innings. He's averaged less than 3 walks per 9 innings and almost 6 strikeouts per 9.
That hit him flush on the ankle, and he makes the play. And Loesch says he's fine, but that was a hard hit ball. It's the second time in the last week or so we've seen Suzuki hit a smash off the pitcher on the mound.
Was it Suzuki that hit Mark Burley?
Yes.
Yeah, right here, taking a pitch right up the middle. And the ball hit hard. You can see if that ball kind of caroms, that means it didn't hit solid. Right here, that hit solid.
Oh,
kind of a ricochet.
Yeah. A little pinball there from one leg into the other.
To the left, to the right. The ball dropped straight down, and Loesch got the out.
1 down. Here's Escobar. And a strike.
Escobar, switch hitter, hitting .250 as a left-handed hitter.
Up and away. Loesch's best year with the Twins was probably 2003, 14-11. Had a high ERA, but he did win 14 ball games. Escobar to right, a base hit. First Twins base runner with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up Aaron Hicks. Take your family to the ballpark this summer in the Minnesota Twins Our Family section, presented by Fox Sports North. Tickets in the alcohol-free section start at just $10, include a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. For ticket information, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar.
You know, where his mound opponent has 14 ground ball double plays, Kyle Loesch only has 2 made behind him. More of a fly ball type pitcher.
Hicks out in front of the off-speed pitch.
Hicks hitting .271 as a left-handed hitter.
Line foul, 0-2. In Loesch's 14-win year of 2003, the rest of the rotation included Brad Radke, who won 14 games, Kenny Rogers, who won 13, and Johan Santana was converted from reliever to starter that year, and he won 12 ball games and won the Cy Young the next year. 2 strikes to Hicks. Checked his swing, 1-2.
Yeah, only Torrey Hunter, Joe Mauer, and Glenn Perkins were teammates of Kyle Loesch throughout his Twin days.
1-2. Twins trying to scratch their way back into this game, down 5-0. Making low. First pitch, and it's 2-2. Hicks with just the 2 runs batted in. He's been in the lineup every day since his call-up, and he has just the 2 runs he drove in on his lone home run. Dribbled foul. actually hitting better so far this year left-handed than right-handed. Remember last year he gave up hitting left-handed. 2-2. Taken on the outside corner, a strike. 2 down.
Carlos picks up his 3rd strikeout. The second called 3rd strike. He struck out Mauer to end the 1st.
Now Dozier with a fly ball down the left field line, caught by Peterson in the 1st inning. Off the plate. After today's game, the 2015 season for the Twins will be exactly 1/3 completed. Here are the Twins looking for win number 33 on the year. Strike called 1-1. Two and one. Dozier starting the day 1 run behind Josh Donaldson for the league lead in runs scored. Dozier scored 44 times, Donaldson 45 times. Popped up, foul, and out of play.
Brian, a lot of extra base hits, 17 doubles, 3 triples, 10 home runs. And over the last 9 ball games, received 5 singles, 7 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs.
But when you get ahead, you are automatically in scoring position. You should score a few more runs. And now Dozier up there with a 2-2 count. Toward the hole, backhanded by Segura. Got him. Nice play by Segura, forcing Escobar at second base.
And a nice pick by Perez, the second baseman.
Through 3 innings, it's a 5-0 Brewer quick start. Thursday, June 18th, an American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time. The greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names in the history books. Exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship, live from Chambers Bay Golf Course, June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Gibson like a 1-2-3 inning and worked deeper into this ball game. J.R. Graham scheduled to start tomorrow afternoon, and you know he's probably going to hopefully go 3 or 4, maybe 5 if he gets some quick outs. But you'd like Gibson here to at least get into the 6th or 7th inning, because it's going to be a bullpen day tomorrow.
1-2 to Peterson. He'll be followed by Rogers and Perez. 3 swings and misses. Peterson striking out for the 2nd time.
Strikeout number 5 for Kyle.
Carsoup.com trivia question. See if it has something to do with the Twins, something to do with the Brewers, or both. The only Brewer to hit for the cycle against the Twins. This is a cream puff of a question.
It's a slam dunk.
It's a cream puff of a question, which is exactly what we need. We had some tough ones in Boston.
I thought we still got them all right, though, somehow.
1 strike to Jason Rogers. Get into a double play his first time up. Strike 2. Now 1-2.
Rogers signed by the Brewers in 2010 in their 32nd round. September call up last year.
Slider misses low. 2-2. Foul. The thought was that the National League Central would be a very balanced division, and it's turned out to be anything but. The Cardinals have the best record in the game. They've won 36 and lost 18. The Brewers have won 18 and lost 36. That's not balance. That's a good stop by Plouffe from foul territory. Makes the play to Mauer. 2 down. Trevor Plouffe with a fine play behind the third base bag.
Yeah, outstanding play. Wasn't sure if this was going to be fair or foul, but you go ahead and continue to play. Right over the bag. Trevor, good long throw. Gets Rogers for the 2nd out.
2 down, and now Hernan Perez.
6 ground ball outs for Kyle Osh. No fly ball outs. It's just that the fly balls have left the ballpark.
There's 1 hit to the gap in left center.
There we go. Stayed in the ballpark.
A fly ball out, and a 1-2-3-4.
back in the game.
The Twins will try to come back and get into this game and then win it, as they did yesterday in Boston. Torrey Hunter with the big swing that got the Twins back into the game with a 3-run home run. He lined out to center fielder Carlos Gomez the first time up. Ball 1, now ball 2.
Yeah, he got a knuckleball from Stephen Wright, the starter, in the 5th inning, and he did not miss it. He hit it over that green monster in left field for that big 3-run home run.
Hunter, Mauer, and Plouffe against Loesch here in the 4th. 3-0. Twins with just 1 hit so far. Got a couple of balls hard in the 3rd, and now Loesch falling behind the leadoff man. 3-0. At the knees, 3-1. Popped up, back out of play. 3-2. Full count to the leadoff man here in the 4th. Popped up right field. Playable for Parra. 1 down. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer. In interleague play, Joe Mauer's been a T-Mobile game changer over his career. He owns the 3rd best batting average among active hitters at .332. He scored 108 runs, 93 runs batted in, and an on-base percentage of .402. Joe hitting in his career .332. Pedroia Marquez ahead of him. Up and away, ball 1.
Joe took a call 3rd strike in his first at bat.
On the outside corner.
See, the velocity is not there what Loesch once had. That fastball at 89. So again, a pitcher has to hit his spots, change speeds, add and subtract.
2-1.
A curveball at 74.
Foul down the left field line, 2-2. We're in the beginning stages of June, and just a year ago, everything was coming up roses for the Brewers. They had a good month of June. By June 28th, after they beat the Rockies, they were 19 games above 500. Mauer with a liner into right. He gets a base hit with 1 out in the 4th.
Joe got a fastball in and fought it off and hit it past Davis, who was going to his right, almost came up with that line drive. So Joe Mauer picks up his first hit, 2nd for the Twins.
By the end of June, the Brewers had the best record in baseball, 19 games above the 500 mark. And things started turning sour for them. But they still were leading the division in late August and then fell completely apart the end of August into September. Here's Plouffe. And then a slow start this year. The manager gets fired. Rumors of players being jettisoned. With the worst record in baseball, 1 strike to Plouffe. Blocked by Lucroy. What made the dismissal of Ron Renicky so surprising is just a few weeks before they extended his contract. through the 2017 season. Plouffe bounces it left side. Segura gets the force at second. Plouffe will reach in a fielder's choice.
I'm sure the owner said, "Oh, you're safe, you know, with this contract." Kind of what they said to Johnny Farrell in Boston, you know. Owner comes out and says, "Oh, no, he's okay." Well, we'll wait and see.
Well, it's a combination of things. Well, the Brewers got off to a horrible start, the worst start in the game, and then you've got a team within your division getting off to the best start in the game, and it's a huge margin of 18 games. Ball one. Nunez struck out swinging his first time up. Twins need a bit of a jolt here. They have been jolted 3 times with Brewer home runs. And Nunez got a pitch up. He wanted to drive, and he fouled it back.
Nunez not a lot of at-bats this year. 43. He has 12 hits. 5 doubles, a home run.
One and one. Headed up the middle, bobbled by Segura, stays with it, runs to the bag, and the Twins are done in the 4th. On to the 5th. It's 5-0 Milwaukee. Nothing Milwaukee. They've clubbed 3 home runs against Kyle Gibson. Gibson had a 1-2-3 quick 4th inning, hoping for the same here in the 5th. Gene Segura leading things on. That's a fair ball, and Plouffe again with a fine play behind the third base bag.
Well, he just made a nice play in the 4th inning off the bat of Rogers. Here, Segura trying to hug that ball down that third base line, and just on the other side of the bag, Plouffe gets rid of that ball very quickly to get to Speedy Segura at first.
And now Parra, the batter. A little bit of history made at Fenway Park tonight. The ball dribbled up the right side. Easy play for Bauer. Pat Venditti was called up by the Oakland A's. You might not have heard of him. Kind of a peculiar name, but what really makes him peculiar is he pitches both right-handed and left-handed. And he's just made his major league debut. He faced right-handed and left-handed batters. He pitched both ways in the same inning. Faced just 3 men, got an inning-ending ground ball double play, and came off the mound. And the organist at Fenway Park played Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now, the famous hit for Joni Mitchell. So that was kind of a fun night at Fenway. Line foul by about a foot. Gomez will go back to home plate.
I think there was a pitcher, Greg Harris, I believe, that he always was a right-hander, but he always wanted to pitch left-handed. Later in his career, they finally let him throw left-handed.
He was a right-handed reliever. I was made aware of him, met him when he was a member of the Texas Rangers. He showed me his glove, much like the one that Venditti wears. And finally, in his last major league game, he pitched in 1 inning from both sides of the plate. Well, right-handed, Kyle Gibson settled into a bit of a groove. He set down 7 men in a row.
In front by 5. It's time for the Minnesota State Lottery winner's circle. 100 scratch-off tickets and well-earned. One of the coolest signs I've seen. Look at this. June 5th, 1970. It is, again, the day you were born, and the same day that Burt Blyleven started his Hall of Fame career. How long ago did you know this bit of trivia?
Actually, about 3 years.
And you've had a chance to meet Mr. Blyleven?
I met him last year at the Twins Caravan.
Oh, pretty cool. Happy birthday. You're getting circled by that Hall of Famer today. And Burt, you're into birthdays. You got to love that sign.
I really do, and you know, that's only 308 more days until my next one, but that makes me old. 1970.
Well, yeah. This was the night of your debut?
Yes, in Washington against the Senators.
How'd that first at bat go?
Well, kind of what Gibson went through the first 3 innings. Solo home run, but the most important thing, we won the ball game 2-1.
0-2 to Eddie Rosario, trying to get the Twins off the floor here in the 5th inning. And that'll help. There's a drive to right field, retrieved by Parra, and Rosario has a leadoff single in the 5th. Twins have had 2 other hits, but they've each come with 1 out in an inning. Bring up Suzuki. Suzuki hit a smash into the legs, both of them, of Kyle Osh, and was thrown out at first.
Yeah, well, I see the pitch kind of left up a little bit. Rosario gets good wood on it and picks up a hit. Oh, he has a very smooth swing.
Here is Suzuki. Suzuki tries to bunt. It's too hard and foul, 1 strike. Well, I was just thinking about the year 1970. That was the year the Brewers began play. They were the Seattle Pilots the year before that. So about 2 months before you made your major league debut, the Brewers officially became an entity in the American League.
Well, the Pilots were, what, 1 year in 1969?
The story goes,
in Seattle,
Phil Roof was a part of that team, as I recall. That see this next pitch to Suzuki, taken for a ball. But the team trained in Arizona, and they left in unison, breaking camp, and they were told to go to, was it Denver, and either turn right and go to Milwaukee or turn left and go to Seattle. That's how late the decision was to actually move the franchise. 1-1. 2-1. And yes, the Brewers, of course, were in the American League for a lot of years.
Yeah, their best season, of course, 1982 when they won the World Series. The Brew Crew.
Looking at that year for them, they almost scored 900 runs that year. 2-1. 3-1.
I believe they had a managerial change that year too. I believe Bob Rogers, because he did not start, and then Harvey Keene became the manager. To look that up, but I thought they had a managerial change.
3-1. I know no pitcher in the American League wanted to pitch to that lineup. Up the middle again off of Loesch. This one will roll into right field. And Rosario thought about it. So I'm not sure if there's any history between Loesch and Suzuki, but Suzuki's peppered him twice.
A little pinball wizard for Kurt Suzuki against Kyle Loesch.
A base hit, of course.
For the second time, Kyle Loesch saying, "I'm okay."
Loesch telling Lucroy, "Look, don't let anything happen to you because I got the ice tub after the game." These are all below the knee, too.
This started the bottom of the 3rd inning, kind of a bingo bongo right there. And Loesch able to get it and get him out, and then going back up the middle again.
Right, something to build on here in this 5th inning for the Twins. Pair of singles to get things started. Here's Escobar. Dropped a single into right field his first time up. Breaking ball over the inside corner. Twins with 4 hits. They've all been singles. Jack to swing, 1-1. Again, Loesch has beaten the other 29 teams, including the Brewers, of course, but he's never beaten the Twins. Had just one other opportunity to do that. And staked to an early 5-0 lead. Great chance to do that here tonight. See what Escobar can do to change the complexion of this game. Fouled away, 1-2.
Yeah, Escobar got a low fastball back in the 3rd inning and lined it into right field. Just looking it up, there was Buck Rogers did start the season as a manager, and then Harvey Keene did take over in 1982.
1-2 to Escobar. 2-2. To have a runner at second base for the first time against Loesch. Inside, 3-2 with Hicks on deck.
Loesch with 3 strikeouts in the ball game has not walked a Twin yet.
Full count to Escobar. Popped up wide of third. And in foul territory, infield fly rules called, which only applies if the ball is fair. Escobar retired 1 down. Combine your love of the Twins and the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University by attending CSB SJU Night at Target Field June 17th. Find out how to see the game, receive a limited edition red and white Twins cap. Visit twinsbaseball.com/SJU for the exclusive ticket package and more information.
On that 3-2 pitch by Loesch, it looked like he threw him a breaking ball, and Escobar just got underneath it.
Here's Hicks. Twins need to get something out of this rally. Double play grounder. Bobbled by the second baseman Perez. They'll only get 1. It might have been a close play at first. It wasn't hit particularly hard, but now there are 2 men in scoring position.
Yeah, I mean, Perez, you know, you're not charged an error right there because an out is recorded, but maybe trying to turn it a little bit too quick. Ball kind of rolled up his arm, but he does pick it up by the bare hand and get the out at first.
Will leave this rally, if it is that, up to Dozier.
Twins have done a good job with 2-out hitting with runners in scoring position all season long. Picking each other up.
And even when they've made an out, productive outs have really helped, and that's what makes Escobar's pop-up so damaging here in the 5th inning. Over the inside corner. Early in the game yesterday, the Red Sox hit a couple of early home runs, but then Hunter's 3-run home run got the Twins back in the game. And we told you the overall batting average is .252 with men in scoring position and 2 out, .272. Popped up, back and out of play. 1 and 2 to Dozier. Wants a new sequence of signs from Lucroy. Off the plate, very wide, 2 and 2.
Looked like a little cutter that he wanted down and away.
Two and 2 to Brian Dozier. Tapped up the line. Dozier beats it out. The Twins are on the board. Scoring is Rosario, an infield hit, and it's 5-1.
And Dozier credited with an RBI, his 27th of the year. It wasn't hit sharply. It wasn't your typical extra base hit by Brian Dozier, but it's a swinging bunt. Ramirez comes in, barehands it, and flipping it quickly over to Rogers, but Dozier just beat it out.
Somewhere in the Twins dugout, I hope Tommy Malone was watching, because that was the biggest issue for Malone yesterday, giving up a bunch of scratch hits like that. And Malone should be encouraged that it can happen to somebody else, because he had about a season's worth of them in the first 2 innings. There's Malone. And now Hunter, whose 3-run home run yesterday got the Twins within 1. He can do the same thing here tonight. Outside ball 1.
Yeah, Loesch has given up 13 home runs on the season, 9 of them to right-handed hitters, and right-handed hitters came into this ballgame hitting .336 off of Loesch. Left-handers just 218.
A single to left. Another run will score, and the Twins will get the tying run to the plate.
Fourth hit of the inning for the Twins. Hunter picking up his 36th RBI.
And another run, another hit, scoring a run with a 2-out hit. And now the Twins get the tying run to the plate. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, will trot to the mound.
Pitching. Just not a bad pitch. Torrey just hitting it in the right spot between third and short in the left field. Good piece of hitting by Torrey Hunter.
Twins came into the inning with just 2 singles. They've picked up 4 more and a couple of runs so far here in the 5th. What they need more than anything else right now is an extra base hit from Mauer. That has been one of the issues. Joe with 14 extra base hits among the 52 hits. He's now 53 hits that he has picked up. On the outside corner. 11 doubles, 2 triples, a home run. A home run in Pittsburgh.
Right. A big home run, the game-winning home run.
On the outside corner again.
Mauer's last home run hit here at Target Field August 17th of last year against Jeremy Guthrie of the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, and 2. A drive to right field. Tie game.
You talk about it, it happens.
On an 0-2 pitch. And if Kyle Loesch's sore shins don't keep him awake tonight, that pitch will.
Almost everybody on their feet here at Target Field as Joe Mauer hits his second home run of the year, a big 3-run home run that ties the game at 5 apiece.
Yesterday it was Hunter's 3-run home run in the 5th inning that got the Twins off the floor. Now a bouncer to third, backhanded by Ramirez. Long throw, inning over, but 1 pitch too late for Kyle Loesch and the Brewers as Joe Mauer comes through. Mauer's 3-run home run.
Here I mentioned, his last home run hit here August 17th against the Royals of last year, and Kyle Lohse was hoping that it didn't have the distance, but it did. That is a huge home run, and as I mentioned earlier, Kyle Lohse gave up 3 home runs in the first 3 innings. That this game can bite you. Lohse with a 5-0 lead, felt good. All of a sudden, a couple pitches here or there, boom. That 5-run lead is gone.
Hicks bounced out. There were runners at first and third, 2 down. Dozier singled, Hunter singled. He had Mauer 0-2 and gave up a big 3-run bomb. Outside, now 2-1.
Well, that's the frustrations of this game of baseball and sometimes a long season. Again, Lohse came into this game in 11 starts, 3 wins, 6 losses, an ERA at 6.5.
Now Gibson hustles to the bag, finds it. Mauer flips one away.
Gibson's, keeping the club in the game the best he can, especially now he's retired 8 straight. Watch Joe, he kind of brought the hands in. And you can see where contact was on the bat. Created a 3-run home run.
We've seen him so many times swing and miss with what looks from up here to be a home run swing, and now he connects, and just like that, it's a tie ball game. Down and away, ball 1.
Lucroy hitting a home run to lead off the 2nd inning off of Lohse, whose first home run of the year. And, just activated off the disabled list.
Again, it's not the best business model to follow. You give the other guys a whole bunch of runs early, then you come back. What a dramatic home run for Mauer, and still just a tie game, but really good crowd here at Target Field is very much into this game now.
When you're down 5-0, and you tie it, yeah, that's great. Now it's up to Kyle Lohse or Gibson, hopefully, to have another quick inning. Needed only 6 pitches to get out of the 5th inning.
And now 3-1. Gibson hasn't walked anybody, but he did give up a whole bunch of hits and home runs early. Three and 1. With a dangerous Jonathan Lucroy. Tapper to short. Waist high hop for Escobar. 2 down. We'll bring up Aramis Ramirez. Pepsi fans of the game enjoying a Friday night at the ballpark, and boy, if you can't enjoy this, absolutely perfect weather. What is it, 72 degrees or whatever it was, low humidity, just some high wispy clouds that don't carry any precipitation with them. Just a magnificent night here at Target Field. Swing and a miss. Ramirez tried to untie the game.
Yeah, Ramirez, we kind of touched on a little bit in his last at bat, announcing that this is his last year. 375 career home runs. And some good years for the Pirates, the Cubs, and also the Brewers. A career .285 hitter coming into this year.
You can imagine, can't you, a contending team interested in picking up Ramirez, even though his numbers are off this year. Put a veteran like him in a competitive environment and might be able to get a good couple of months from a really good third baseman.
From the Dominican Republic, originally signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates back in 1994.
1 and 2. And now 2 and 2. Peterson on deck. And now it's a full count.
We'll try to change up right there. 90 pitches for Gibson, 62 strikes, so he has thrown strikes, only 28 balls thrown. Back to the changeup.
Got him. And Gibson has retired 10 men in a row. He's given his lineup a chance to score some runs, and boy, did they ever in the fifth. Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's, have bold for breakfast with the new chorizo burrito from McDonald's. And putting up 5 runs, all 5 runs, scoring on 2-out hits against Kyle Oesch. Now as the Twins hit in a tie game, it'll be Eduardo Nunez leading things off. He's taken a strike, and now he drives a foul into the seats for strike 2. Nunez, Rosario, and Suzuki. Nunez strikes out on 3 pitches.
And Loesch picks up his 4th strikeout, getting Nunez for the 2nd time.
Tomorrow, coverage of the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup begins. China takes on the host country, Canada. And then Monday, it's Team USA's first game as they battle Australia on Fox Sports 1. Plus games all weekend long on Fox, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, all streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Rosario, single to start the 5-run 5th. Swing and a miss. Rosario's been a consistent hit getter for the Twins over the last week and a half, at a time when some other hitters have really struggled. Thought about bunting in front of Ramirez and takes a ball 1-1. Eduardo Escobar scuffling a little bit. Mauer's been scuffling a little bit. Nunez's average has come down. Bloof. Lifted to left, harmlessly toward Peterson. 2 down. And that'll bring up Suzuki. And Kyle Oesch asking for the L screen before he throws it to Suzuki. Suzuki has smashed 2 balls up against the legs, the lower legs of Kyle Oesch. Oesch recovered to get an out in the 3rd, and Suzuki got an infield hit off of a foot of Oesch in the 5th.
Now you're trying to get that ball through the wickets of that pitcher, but he keeps hitting the wicket.
Outside, Fox Tracks presented by Dodge.
.98 pitches, 63 strikes for Loesch. No walks, 4 strikeouts.
1-1. Pitch number 100 coming for Loesch. Outside corner.
The 5th inning, you can see the 26 needed.
Up the middle again for a base hit. Suzuki had a good ball game yesterday in Boston, picking up right where he left off, his average heading northward.
You know, the 3 hits he got yesterday, his average went up 16 points to 223 going into yesterday's ball game to 239 coming into this ball game. And here he has a couple hits. And he had 288 last year, so you know he was scuffling a little bit, but picking up 5 hits over the last game and a half.
Now Escobar 1 for 2, got the first Twins hit, a single with 1 out in the 3rd. That's to center. Gomez catches the liner. Didn't know how many outs there were. That is the 3rd out, and the ball ends up over by the Brewer dugout. Brewers jumping out early.
Yeah, Segura, first hitter on the 3rd pitch, hit a solo home run. Of course, he took a 1-0 lead. Then Lou Correa, home run in the 2nd inning. Big 3-run home run by Adam Lynn, giving the Brewers an early 5-0 lead. Then with 2 outs, here comes the Twins offense. Couple RBI singles by Dozier and Hunter, and then Joe Mauer, a big 3-run home run to tie the game at 5 apiece. A big run, 5-run, 5th inning.
Gibson still out there. He's retired 10 men in a row, facing the bottom 3rd of the Brewer lineup. And so far, we've seen Shane Peterson do that a lot. Big swing and a miss. 1 strike.
Peterson this year, he just got called up, but you know, mainly career 8 seasons in the minor leagues. He was hitting well down in Colorado Springs, a AAA affiliate for the Milwaukee Brewers, hitting .320 in 47 games.
I believe he has swung and missed at 9 of Kyle Gibson's pitches.
And Gibson striking him out for the 3rd time and picking up his 8th strikeout. Ties a season high for Gibson. Great sinkage right there.
1 down. Here's Jason Rogers.
Only 8 strikeouts ties a season high and a career high for Kyle.
Strike one to Rogers. Rogers bounced into a double play started by Escobar, and then Rogers hit a smash over the third base bag, and Trevor Plouffe turned it into an out. This one hit to the corner, but it'll hook foul. Cracked his bat in the process. Our Soup.com trivia question. I believe the answer is the current Twins manager.
Yes, it is. Mr. Paul Molitor.
Did it against Kevin Tapani, as I recall. There's a chopper. Gibson fields his position so well. Makes a fine play.
And it really bounces off that mound nicely.
2 down, and now Hernan Perez.
Yeah, big 6'6" frame. Kind of a swinging bunt. Hit to Gibson's right. Feels it. And all in one motion spins around and throws a strike over to Joe Mauer. So a nice fielding play by the pitcher.
Two down, and now Perez. Strike.
12 in a row retired by Gibson.
And only one ball hit out of the infield in that span. It was Perez hitting a fly ball to Escobar in left, or Rosario in left, I should say. Down and in.
Watch Gibson right here. It's a ball that you think about barehanding, but it's hit a little bit too hard. But look at that. Just a transfer from the glove to his hand, and then the quick release over to Mauer.
Jammed him, got a foul ball.
I'm going to go back to the first 3 innings. When you give a guy like Gibson a little extra rest, and I know they did it for a reason, but the first 3 innings, some of those pitches, they didn't have the same movement as we're seeing right now. He's got tremendous sink right now on his pitches. He has 11 ground ball outs, only 1 fly ball out, and a career high 9 strikeouts.
2 of them here in a 1-2-3 7th inning. Same number of home runs he gave up in the entire month of May, but then he settled down.
Boy, he retired the last 13 in a row, a career high 9 strikeouts in a ball game, and some nasty pitches down with great movement. Of course, you need good defense behind you. Trevor Plouffe, a couple very nice plays down that third baseline. And Gibson 101 pitches, 72 for strikes, so great strike to ball ratio. And what he's able to do too, Dick, is the last 18 batters he faced, able to get strike one on 15 of the 18.
Jeremy Jeffress comes out of the Milwaukee pen. Kyle Lohse will not beat the Twins tonight. He leaves in a tie game. The Brewer bullpen's been the least of their issues this year. We'll see how Jeffress fares against Aaron Hicks.
Jeffress, 27 years old, good fastball.
A bunt. Jeffress comes off the mound and throws up the line. Hicks will run for second base. It's a bunt single and an error on the pitcher on his first pitch of the game.
Well, we just saw Kyle Gibson almost make the same play, and he did it right. Jeffress trying to hurry that throw, and maybe the speed of Aaron Hicks out of that batter's box maybe made him hurry his throw a little bit, but Aaron laying that ball down, trying to get it toward that third baseline.
Some movement forward, but look how still the head is. If there's one common complaint from hitting people about the Twins bunting this year, there's way too much movement, and even in slow motion you could see some movement. But Hicks dropping down a nice bunt. He was going to beat it out, and then Jeffress threw it up the line, and now we'll see what Dozier's asked to do here.
Yeah, Hicks will get a base hit, then the error by the pitcher Jeffress allows him to get into scoring position.
Dozier looked like he tried to push the ball to the right side. Plenty of fastball there. That one clocked in the mid-90s. One strike.
Twins saw Jeffress when he was with the Royals and the Blue Jays in his second season back with the Brewers. He originally came up with the Brewers back in 2010.
Busted bat and a bouncer to third. Ramirez looks the runner back, and Dozier leaves Hicks at second base, one away.
Yeah, not a productive out. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins LLC.
Dozier got a big 2-out single in the fifth, hoping the Twins put 5 runs up on the board. Hunter did the same thing. See what he can get done here in the 7th inning. Over the inside corner, a strike. Inside again at 96. Gets a weak foul over the Twins dugout. Hunter with 36 runs batted in. Remember, after the game today, the Twins will have completed 1/3 of their schedule. So it's always fun to take these numbers, multiply them by 3, and give you some idea as to what a player might be able to do.
And what a team might be able to do. I mean, you're talking maybe if they win, that's what? 99 wins.
Hunter retired, and Hicks goes to third. There are 2 down for Mauer. Mauer, the timely home run that tied the game with 2 men on and 2 out.
Yeah, this in the 5th inning. Kyle Lohse ahead in the count. 0-2, came in with a high fastball. Could see his reaction. He knew it.
Mauer might be a walk here. Looks like that's what they're going to do. An intentional walk. And we'll leave it to Trevor Plouffe.
It's the 6th time in the season that Joe has been walked intentionally.
Plouffe looking for his first hit. Didn't have a particularly fun 4-game series in Boston. We've seen Jeffress after the Hicks bunt really bust the right-handed batters inside with a good fastball, 96 miles per hour. Broke Dozier's bat. And he got inside on Hunter a couple of times as well. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. I bet Trevor was paying attention. Inside with an off-speed pitch. Toronto cooled off the Astros, beating Houston 6-2. Twins win here tonight. They'll have the best record in the American League. Chopper to third. Ramirez gets the first hop. And the Twins strand 2 in the 7th. They head to the 8th in a tie game. Another outstanding performance by Aaron Thompson. High fastball got him. Good inning for Presley.
We're the forgetful heroes. No matter how many outs we're supposed to get, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's just our job.
And they've done a great job out there. You see Dunsing, Stauffer, Thompson. Graham is going to start tomorrow. Bullpen since May 19th has been superb.
Yeah, it really has. And Blaine Boyer, the first one out of the bullpen here tonight, has been outstanding. Making his 27th relief appearance. He worked in Game 2 on Wednesday in a shutout inning against Boston in that 2-0 win.
On the outside corner with an off-speed pitch. Segura started the game on the 3rd pitch of the game. He clubbed a home run to put the Brewers up 1-0. Lucroy homered leading off the 2nd. Lynn hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd, and it was 5-0 very quickly. Then Kyle Gibson really settled down. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
So little cutter, breaking ball. Now there is some history for Boyer because most of his career was in the National League with the Braves, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, the Mets, the Padres. First year in the American League.
Segura acted like that second swing tweaked something in a hand, maybe. We
saw. I look at Segura. He's kind of a mini-me of Carlos Gomez. A lot of energy. Segura has faced Boyer 0 for 1. Now make it 0 for 2.
Breaking ball, maybe a cutter, and then something at 86 in between. He threw 3 strikes at 82, 88, and 86.
Got nothing ever to the same. Over 6 of the last 15 ball games, 8 saves, 14 holes. Great earned run average. The opposing batting average, very good.
Now Gerardo Parra 1 for 3, a single and a run scored.
Parra 0 for 2 in his career against Boyer.
On the inside corner, and there's the first straight fastball that he's thrown at 93.
These guys were teammates for a couple years with the Diamondbacks in 2009 and 10.
Check swing. Nope. 1-1. Baltimore beat Cleveland 5-2. The Indians were hoping to get to the 500 mark, but instead they fall 2 games back. One and one to Parra. On a foul tip.
It's not an overpowering fastball, but he changes speeds very well.
And in the first at bat, he struck out Segura. 82, 88, and 86 were the velocities. Parra has seen a couple of 93-mile-per-hour fastballs. Slower breaking ball and a weak comebacker. 2 down.
Kind of what Boyer did in game 2 at Boston in that 2-0 lead. He threw only 6 pitches, 4 for strikes for a quick 1-2-3 inning, just like that.
And now Gomez. 2 strikeouts, a single, and a run score. Deep to right center field. He's given it a ride, and it is off the wall. Gomez digs for second, and it's a 2-out double. That'll bring up Adam Lynn.
Looked like high breaking ball right there. Gomez taking it the other way for his 11th double of the year, his second hit of the ball game. That's a long way out there, Carlos Gomez. I think he thought he had it. But not here at Target Field.
At Miller Park, probably, but not here. Paul Molitor to the mound. Left-hand hitting Adam Lynn on deck. Boyer gets the first 2 men, but then Gomez forces a pitching change with a 2-out double here in the 8th. Came into the ball game.
Yeah, it's a 4-4 ball game. He came in. He did give up a base hit to Betts, but other than that, retired the next 2 batters, came in, and okay, it's still a 4-4 ball game. Well, in the top of the 9th inning, the Twins scored 4 runs, and guess who got the win? Aaron Thompson, his first major league win in the 8-4 win. And on the plane, I congratulated him, and he goes, "Yeah, you know what? That's pretty cool." He said, "I got a lot of texts, and I couldn't figure out why. That was my first major league win in Fenway Park. That's cool."
And I can hear Aaron saying that word "cool" a couple of times.
Just a laid-back, left-handed pitcher that's had put together a very steady first couple months for the Twins.
Here's Lind against the lefty, foul back, 1 strike.
Thompson making his 27th appearance. 10 2/3 innings pitched, 14 hits, 5 runs, a couple walks, 7 strikeouts.
It's apparent that Ryan Braun's unable to even pinch hit tonight. He had that procedure done to his thumb. When we do see him in this series, if we do, we expect it to be in the DH spot. And that's where Lind sits now. But Braun just had the procedure done a couple of days ago. And they hope to have him for sure by Sunday, maybe tomorrow. But this would be where he would be used if he could be used. 1-1 to Lind. Slow breaking ball, and Lind out in front.
We saw, Blaine Boyer, we talked about adding and subtracting, and that's exactly what Aaron Thompson needs to do. And he does well.
Lefty's hitting just 118 against Thompson this year. Just inside. Now, conversely, right-handers are starting to pick up some steam against Thompson. He's giving up a batting average of over 300 against righties. I have in my stats 304 his average. That's Adam Lind's numbers. I beg your pardon.
But I think what we've seen, Molly and Neil Allen use Thompson against lefties.
Right.
Maybe, this might be the only batter he faces.
Right. Yep. Trying to get this batter to send us to the bottom of the 8th in a tie game. Gomez at second with 2 away. Poke to right. Hunter has it go over his head. And Lind will drive in Gomez, and the Brewers are back in front. It nearly happened to Gomez earlier in the game. A liner nearly sailed over his head. And now Lind, a 3-run home run and a big double in the 8th.
Yeah, the ball left up a little bit, and Lind put a good swing on it. And it's a line drive just over the reach. Torrey, they misjudged this a little bit, how hard it was, and saw Torrey cut across thinking that he could get it rather than go back.
And Paul Molitor to the mound with right-handed hitting Jonathan Lucroy due up. Thompson giving up a rare hit against a lefty on a ball that could have been caught in right field, and another pitching change in the 8th. Some 2-out hitting to score 5, and now a pair of 2-out doubles in the 8th, and the Brewers are back in front.
And Casey Fiend hopefully to get the final out here in the top of the 8th inning, making his 14th relief appearance, his 5th since being activated off the disabled list where he had that right shoulder strain. He worked in yesterday's ball game 2/3 of an inning in the 8-4 win through 10 pitches, 6 for strikes.
Fiend will face Lucroy. Fastball up and away. Lucroy's home run leading off the second made it 2-0. At one point it was 5-0. Twins tied it, but now Milwaukee back in front. Off the plate, 2-0. 3-game weekend series here with Milwaukee, and then later this month 3 games will be played in Milwaukee against these two teams. Last couple of years the rivalry series have been midweek series of 2 games apiece. Popped up near the mound, and the ball hits Suzuki's glove, and a run will score. Fiend wanted no part of it. Suzuki thought he was going to catch it, and an embarrassing way to give up another run this inning.
Well, of course, Mauer and Plouffe playing back. That ball hit straight up. Sometimes as a pitcher you have to try to catch the ball. Ball straight up. You see Mauer come hustling in, and nobody's saying anything. Finally Suzuki just kind of jabs at it, and the ball ends up behind home plate. And Lind, with 2 outs, he's running all the way, scores the 2nd run of the inning.
Lucroy given a base hit on a ball that could have been caught by any number of Twins infielders. And now Ramirez will bat. Another 2-out hit. That's right.
Well, sometimes you see a ball hit, in the outfield. They call it no man's land. Too often you see a ball hit that high and it's not caught or called by somebody.
Fiend kept looking at Suzuki, and Suzuki, I think, was under the impression it was so close to the mound that the pitcher would, especially since he was standing there, that he would call for it and make the catch.
Yeah, again, Mauer was playing deep. Trevor Plouffe was playing deep. It would have been hard for them to come in and make that catch. Sometimes it just happens.
1-2. Tapper to short. And that ends the 8th inning. The Brewers scored twice, 3 straight 2-out hits. They're back in front 7-5.
Sports Update. Saturday is a doubleheader day here on Fox Sports North. Twins resume their series with the Brewers tomorrow afternoon starting at 12:30 with Twins Live. Then at 6 o'clock, we'll bring you the return of the Minnesota Lynx as they take on the Fever from Indiana.
Well, after our experience in Boston the other day, I don't mind telling you, Tom Hanneman talking about a doubleheader. That kind of got my heart flustered there a little bit. I thought we had another double dip tomorrow, but we're only doing one game.
Right. I like the doubleheader. I like doubleheaders like that, especially at Fenway Park.
Yeah. Eduardo Nunez will lead off the 8th, then Eddie Rosario and Kurt Suzuki. The Twins trying to rebound after a bad top of the 8th inning. A misread in right field and a misplay in the infield, and just like that, the Brewers have a 2-run lead.
Jeffress out there for his second inning of work.
Nunez takes a strike. He struck out twice and tapped to short. We saw that early in the ballgame yesterday. Just a bad inning in the field for the Twins. Paul Molitor before the game today, he's really upset with how they played in that second inning. Just didn't look like they were ready to play for some reason. And now outside it's 2-1. Just a ugly top of the 8th inning, and it's a little bit different when you have a bad inning early in a game. Now you have a bad inning late, as the Red Sox going to test. It'll cost you a ball game. See what the Twins can do about that. Least to center. And Nunez couldn't have hit the ball any harder than he did. A leadoff single here in the 8th.
That caught up to that fastball right there and lined it right back up the middle. Second hit that Jeffress is allowed. Fastball just above the belt. And Nunez. It's the 9th hit for the Twins.
Rosario will bat.
Excuse me, the 10th.
Something we have not seen much of from Rosario, and I don't think it's what we will see from him later on. He only has one double. Fouled away. This guy's got 20 hits, and he just looks like the type of player that would be slashing a lot of doubles. He has more home runs than doubles. He's hit tonight a single. No triples, 2 home runs. 1 strike to the Twins left fielder. And now fouled away, 2 strikes. Trying to pull off their second comeback in this game against Milwaukee. Fouled away by Rosario. Rosario hitting 6th. You look at the Twins' middle of the lineup. Trevor Plouffe is a middle of the lineup hitter, but so often over the last couple of weeks, the Twins have had guys like Nunez and Rosario, Escobar, Suzuki hitting 5th and 6th. Another 0-2 pitch coming to Rosario. Step off and look over.
Nunez with speed. He has attempted 2 stolen bases, was caught both times.
Just off the outside corner, he wrapped a breaking ball outside the plate. 1-2.
Yeah, that curveball didn't miss by much. I see a little gap in there, a little outside.
1-2. And striking out. Rosario is down on strikes, but Nunez, seeing the pitch in the dirt, scampers to second. Bring up Suzuki. Suzuki with 2 more hits tonight.
Jeffress a strikeout pitcher. That's his 30th strikeout in 26 and a third innings pitch. Big slow breaking ball right there. Rosario's way out front.
Suzuki bringing the average up to 248. Mid-90s fastball, strike 1.
They give Jeffries a wild pitch if you're keeping score at home, advancing Nunez to second base, even though Rosario swung and missed it, that pitch in the dirt.
To bounce back with at least 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Breaking ball over for strike 2. Oh, 0-2 to Suzuki. Now 1-2.
Just missed for that overhand fastball. Locked at 98 here.
Came out. 2 down. And that'll bring up Escobar.
Jeffress picks up his second strikeout. Good fastball down in the zone. Has some sink to it.
He's had a chance in the 7th to take the lead. Hicks bunted for a hit, went to second on an error. He was standing there with nobody out, but the Twins couldn't push him across. Now Nunez with a single went to second on a wild pitch. He's standing there with 2 out. Escobar is 1 for 3. Hit the ball hard his last time up, and he takes outside, ball 1.
Yeah, I want to say happy birthday to Lois Nash in St. Paul. Big Twins fan. So Lois, happy birthday to you. And a balk is called.
And Jeffress and Lucroy will have a chat about it.
Little movement right there. He came up and then stopped.
And Lucroy handling matters, looking in the dugout saying, I'll take care of this. Right there, just a little.
And I think Escobar was the first one to say that's a balk, and then the home plate umpire followed suit.
90 feet closer, 1-0 to Escobar. And now 2-0. The outside corner at 97 miles per hour. Two and 1. Hit right to the second baseman, Perez. And the Twins leave a runner at third to the 9th, down by a pair.
7-5, the Brewers lead as we head to the ninth. Stay with us directly after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll take a look at how both teams had timely two-out hitting, and clearly in a 7-5 game, there's been plenty of that hitting. We'll also talk about Kyle Gibson, how he gave up 5 early, then really settled down with 4 solid innings after that. We'll put you inside the Twins clubhouse and hear from the manager, Paul Molitor, guys, on this crazy game and what he's looking forward to the rest of the weekend.
Well, thank you. We'll see if there's one more twist to the plot here. Brian Dunsing in the game, his first pitch spanked to left field. Peterson finally made contact after, I think, swinging and missing on 9 pitches from Kyle Gibson. Dunsing in, he'll pitch to the bottom third of the Brewer batting order.
Yeah, Dunsing making his 21st relief appearance. He worked yesterday, just a third of an inning. Had to retire one batter, and that was David Ortiz in the 7th inning. Able to do that on 5 pitches.
There's Jason Rogers. Brewers have never trailed in the game. Came into this game last in the major leagues in hitting 230, but they've got 10 hits and 7 runs with high ball 1. Texas is leading Kansas City 4-0, bottom of the 8th at Kauffman Stadium. Dug out by Suzuki, 2-0. From Dunsing to Rogers. Under the glove of Escobar. Another base hit. First and second, nobody out here in the 9th inning.
He fell behind, had to come in with a fastball. And Rogers picks up his first hit.
Take a look at some news and notes. Stephen Drew with a couple of home runs for the Yankees. They hang on and beat the Angels 8-7. Anthony Rizzo with a couple of home runs for the Cubs, but the Nationals beat Chicago. And Aaron Sanchez with an outstanding effort against the Houston Astros. There is Hernan Perez squaring the bunt and laying down a nice bunt. Dunsing fires to first, and now there are 2 men in scoring position with 1 away.
Yeah, Perez just in his 2nd game, again coming over from the Detroit Tigers on waivers, is asked to bunt. He does his job, advancing the runners to 3rd and 2nd.
And now Gene Segura. Twins will bring the infield in. Already down by a couple of runs. Missing the inside corner. Dunsing's outings have been effective as of late, but this is the first time in a while he's been asked to get 3 outs. He's usually come in to get 1 man, and he's gotten them. In his last 4 appearances, just asked to get 1 man, and now with the count 1-0, the Twins will intentionally pass Segura.
Sets up the double play, force out at any base. Dunsing with his first intentional walk on the season.
These are the type of outings that Brian has had. And a couple of hits here or there will score runs. And as why his ERA is as high as it is. He has not given up a run over his last 6 outings. But again, the last 4 have been asked to get just one man at a time.
And an outing against the Tigers in Detroit. He gave up that 2-run home run to Miguel Cabrera. And then a couple outings later against the Rays, 3 runs allowed. So, yeah, that for a reliever, your ERA will shoot up there. But what he needs is a strikeout here. Dunsing with 5 strikeouts in 11 1/3 innings pitched.
Mauer, even with the bag at first, Plouffe a step or 2 behind third. Middle infielder shortened up about halfway. Called strike, 1-1. Twins are due to have Hicks and then the top of the batting order due up in the 9th within range at 2, but Brewers putting together another late inning threat.
Watch out.
Sounded like it hit him. And Parra brushed by the pitch, and another run will score here in the 9th.
Fastball up and in. Well, look at Pete. Did he get his hand?
I heard something. And now Paul Molitor is asking for a look in the dugout. I thought I heard something. I didn't see anything. Let's listen. There's a little tick.
Yeah, the right wrist interval.
Paul is asking for the umpires to hold on here, and there was something more audible than visual. And Molitor instead is going to come out and change pitchers.
So close. I don't know if that hit him or not. If not, Parra.
Right there, and then you can see it go down into the bottom part of Suzuki's glove. So a rough outing for Dunsing, as the only out he gets was a sacrifice bunt.
I think he did a good acting job himself.
And if his Stauffer.
Stauffer coming in for the 12th time. He worked in game 1 on Wednesday in Boston, a shutout inning. Twins ended up losing that ball game 6-3. But see how Stauffer does here. Now Stauffer in his first season in the American League, of course, coming over from the San Diego Padres, where he has some history against the Brewers.
Gomez with a chance to bust the game wider open. Gomez drove one hard off the fence in right center field with 2 outs in the 8th, and then Lind hit one just over the reach of Hunter in right field. There was a misplay on the pop-up in the infield. The Brewers retook the lead at 7-5.
Yeah, Gomez 0 for 2 against Stauffer with a strikeout.
Pop-up. And of course you look for location, but in this case for Stauffer looking for velocity too in Boston. He was clocked in the low 90s with his fastball. That one at 89, and it was Paul Molitor today, and he said, you know, that was some encouragement that he was getting the fastball over 90 miles per hour on a regular basis. There is of course a difference gun to gun, stadium to stadium. And
Good
now these two are at 89.
Well, good sinker down and in. That ball had some good movement. Gomez, who likes to swing the bat, swings at that pitch inside. Now remember earlier in the ballgame, Gibson struck out Gomez on that good fastball in. And Suzuki probably remembers that. Suzuki moves back inside. He's going away with a high fastball. Suzuki had to reach out to catch that.
Of course, that's a concern too if you're Tim Stauffer or any pitcher and you've had a decrease in velocity, or in a situation like this you tend to, I suppose, reach back and try to throw it harder than
well, you don't want to make a mistake 0-2,
right.
So see if he chase that high fastball. Now going inside with that sinker, but is too low.
Two to Gomez. Slow breaking ball, got him. Two down.
Oh, a big strikeout there for Stauffer. Might have been the changeup right there. A little movement down. Gomez swings through it.
Lind has already driven in 4 runs tonight, a 3-run home run in the third, and then the liner that sailed over the head and reach of Torrey Hunter and right with 2 outs in the 8th. Driving in his 4th run. And that's looped to left, and that'll die for a hit, and it'll score 2. The ball thrown past Dozier towards the Twins dugout, and Rosario will be charged with an error. And the Twins not playing well in the field, just a little dying quail in the left. And Rosario tried to throw behind the runner, but it skipped by Dozier.
Yeah, Lind with a great night. 6 runs batted in here tonight. Just hits a little flare in the left field. 2-run score.
3 runs charged to Dunsing in the 3rd of an inning. Second and third, 2 down, and here is Lucroy. 3 hits tonight for the Brewer catcher. On the outside corner with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. The breaking ball and a swing and a miss. Ball rolling away from Suzuki. This will be, I'm sure, well, whether it will be or not, how do I know? But very disappointing to play back-to-back games like this, where you've made some glaring errors in the field. Activity in the Brewer bullpen, no longer a save situation for Francisco Rodriguez. To center, and Hicks will retreat. And that ball goes back near the warning track. Finally, the 3rd out. A 2-run 8th, and now a 3-run 9th for Milwaukee. look at our What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. A day game tomorrow. Another former Twin will go up against J.R. Graham, making his first major league start.
Yeah, he's made a lot of minor league starts, but this will be his biggest start yet for J.R. Graham against Matt Garza, former #1 pick by the Twins.
So we'll see whether the Twins can put together another 5-run or more inning here in the ninth.
Corey Knebel coming into the ball game. He got called up in the middle of May, making his 8th appearance on the season. 7 2/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. Hard-throwing right-hander. Just 23 years old. He was formerly the Tigers' #1 pick back in 2013 out of the University of Texas.
Aaron Hicks will lead things off. He led off the 7th in a tie game, dropped down a bunt, got a base hit. Jeffress, the pitcher, threw it up the baseline, and Hicks was standing at second with nobody out. Jeffress got 3 weak ground balls to get out of the inning, and the Twins never did take the lead. Hicks takes a strike on the outside corner.
Fastball at 94, great location.
Giovanni Gallardo was the ace of the Brewers staff for a number of years, and the Brewers ended up trading him to Texas. Acquired by Texas for Joaquin Soria, who's now the closer. Back to the glove of the pitcher. And down. And that'll bring up Brian Dozier. White Sox have tied the game up against Soria in the 9th inning. They're in the 10th. Detroit 3, Chicago 3. LaRoche with a game-tying home run against the Tiger closer. If the Tigers lose that game, they will fall back to the 500 mark and will have lost 8 in a row late May, early June. Dozier takes a strike, 1-1. Strike 2.
Straight over the top, 6'4".
Inside corner. Dozier flips the bat, catches it, which might have saved him a fine. 2 down.
Knebel picks up a strikeout, his 12th. In 8 1/3 innings pitched. So straight over the top fastball. And to me, that's a strike.
That's a strike too, to me.
Okay.
Here's Hunter, down to their last out. But anything between the batter's box is a strike to you. I think your assessment of the strike zone is, could the batter have possibly made contact with it, with the pitch?
If he has a jump out of the way, could he still swing at it?
Would he have made contact with the ball with a canoe paddle? That's a strike. 1-2. High fly center field. Easy play for Gomez. And the Brewers outplay the Twins and beat them 10-5. Anthony LaPanta